Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveler. Long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all the difference.
Hey guys, welcome back. I'm sitting here on a section of our farm, and you'll probably be able to hear the traffic going by that runs alongside of the road, a section of the road that everyone around here knows as Jarrell's Hill. Our property runs right along beside of the Blacktop Road, and right now I'm setting in the original road that was here before the Jarrells came to this area. So I kind of wanted to do a video about why it's called Jarrell's Hill, and I had a funny story about this road here in particular that involved my family. I've learned from talking to some of the neighbors over the past few weeks that there's an endless amount of stories that could be told, so I'll have to maybe kind of follow this video up later. So we'll start out with who this hill was named after and kind of go from there. In about 1906, John E. Jarrell married Ruby May Day in Wayne County, West Virginia. Now, they had several children in Wayne County before they moved to Ohio, and then they had several children after they got here, totaling up to 9. And I'm just going to name those children so that you would kind of have an idea. A lot of the people here, everyone that lives here on Jarrell's Hill today, is still a direct descendant of these original Jarrells, and I've learned an awful lot of them scattered around throughout the county. Most of the Jarrells that I'll name here are buried in the Methodist Church Cemetery over at Getaway. So we have Lester, Waldo, Aldine, Herman, Izora, Virginia, Juanita, Donald, and Jackie. That was the children of John and Ruby. Now, they moved here right around 1920, as best I can tell, but they weren't the original owners of the section of land there on top of the hill. I do have, from 1887, I have a Reese Cassidy that owned the same property, and a W.E. Chapman that owned it in 1917. So after that, the Jarrells moved in. They've been here ever since. So if anybody, I'm sure a lot of people that are going to see this video travel through our farm and up and over that hill, you know that it is really known for being a treacherous hill in the wintertime. It's kind of got a reputation for that. It can change from the bottom to the top. One thing that I remember in particular was the milk truck came to pick up our milk, and he was having to go around, so he was coming down the hill. And it was on Christmas morning. I'll never forget. He got about halfway down and he lost control and he flipped the semi about halfway down. And luckily he didn't have a whole lot of milk on the tank, so there wasn't a whole lot lost other than his pride. I don't think it hurt the truck too bad, and no one was hurt, so that was a good thing. But I'm sitting here in the old road today, and I wanted to tell you a story about my grandpa Carl Pratt and his older brother Charlie Pratt. Charlie, he liked to get out and go around to churches and sing in the choir. And, you know, I've always said and kind of joke about to Trina and my daughters that Pratts don't sing, dance, or play musical instruments. But Charlie must have been an exception to that rule, because he did. He loved it. And he and my grandpa Carl was his younger brother, and he was the only one that he could get to go with him. They would walk to Macedonia Church out on top of the ridge there, and so that he could sing in the choir. Well, they would do that on Sunday afternoon. They had to be there by Sunday evening, you know, for the Sunday evening service, I guess. And they got out there and took part in the service and sang with them, and maybe even ate, who knows. But when it come time to come home, by the time they walked all the way back here, if you're familiar with this area, you know that is a long way. That's many miles, across ridge tops and through the woods. Who knows how they got there. By the time they got back to this road, it was middle of the night, pitch black. And my grandpa, or Pop as we called him, said that they would get to the top of this hill right up behind me here, and look down in here, and the trees would all be grown over the road here. And he said it would be just a tunnel, and it would be pitch black. He said he and Charlie would just break and run as hard as they could run down this road because they were scared to death till they got down here to the bottom and got back into some light. And he said if there would have been anything in the road, or if anything would have been wrong, they'd probably killed themselves on it. But I thought that was kind of a funny story I wanted to include. But I'm going to show you some pictures and give you a little video of the old road here and the old church that they went to. And if you have any questions, just please leave a comment there in the comment section. And I appreciate y'all watching. We'll catch up with you on the next video.
When I go, don't cry for me. In my Father's arms I'll be. The wounds this world left on my soul will all be healed, and I'll be whole. Sun and moon will be replaced with the light of Jesus' face. And I will not be ashamed, for my Savior knows my name. It don't matter where you bury me. I'll be home and I'll be free. It don't matter anywhere I lay. All my tears be washed away. Gold and silver blind the eye, temporary riches lie. Come and eat from heaven's store, come and drink and thirst no more. So weep not for me, my friend, when my time below does end. For my life belongs to Him who will